So I didn't take a shower.
Okay.
I took a whore's bath where I just put on deodorant.
Yeah.
And
Got some wet ones.
some
Only the forearms.
Well, actually, I have this little square moist towelettes that are like for my glasses, and I just cleaned myself off. I got a couple cuts from Zuki, so it hurt.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, so I'm like, I'm gonna get coffee because I'm a bougie bitch, and then I'll like be over, and I gotta get gas because I was already like last night when I got home, because I came over at like 11:30 last night to pick up a phone because my whole thing was I'm already up, I should do it.
Right.
I did not apply that logic to should I just get gas right now while I'm still up and just delay me getting home by a little bit, and I was like, no, I won't. I'll do it tomorrow. It's not a big deal. Turns out, I mean, it really wasn't a big deal, but like at Starbucks, I get in line at the drive-thru, and I'm like, I realized that I wanted to get like the hot coffee that my friend recommended me, and I have it saved in my phone as a picture of like what the description is.
Yeah. On
my other phone.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, it's only like 4 words, and I don't know them. Just say those 4 words, and I'm yours. And I'm like, Java chip, frappuccino, cinnamon. Because that's what I remember.
Yeah.
So that was all I wanted to order. But like the girl in front of me was taking a wild order. And I'm like, it's Starbucks. Like, I understand it's complicated. But we're talking like 3 minutes. And like she was already there when I pulled up from the street.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And then in the weirdest thing that I've ever seen, she pulls up there. I guess she like gave her phone to like scan and pay for it. And then about a minute or two later, she gets handed like 3 like bags for food. Yeah. And then she's still there. And I'm like, is she waiting on her drinks maybe? Like, yeah, that's still odd. Normally, like sometimes, especially if they're like bopping and they're busy, like you can actually, because of like how long it takes, you get your food and then you get your drink because it's just they can just throw it in the oven. Yeah. And there's a small man who works there, and his name is Oven. He's just Oven, and he's just damn it, yeah, better than any bit I could do. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, what's happening? Why haven't you driven away? And God, I don't know. A minute or two again, which this is like cumulatively been a bit of time that I'm like, I already finished my Philip DeFranco video. I mean, it was only like 13 minutes today. Beautiful bastards. I know, right? Mood. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like, okay, like, what are you waiting on? Yeah. She hands her a card with the receipt on it back at her, and I'm just like, and then she like peels out, and I'm just sitting here like, what sort of transaction? Like, maybe she bought a gift card through the drive-thru, which like, can you do that? A mood? I mean, who's still buying gift cards though?
Well, also like, if you need a Starbucks gift card, like, wouldn't you just like buy that at like a Fry's or something?
Like the rest of us?
Like the rest of us?
Like, what are you? Like a middle manager trying to help like boost your team's morale with a little Starbucks gift card? Sad. I mean, when my coworker, when P Money wants to like reward me for working at home,
he serenades you?
No, well, like his wife gets a lot of like buy Starbucks a lot, so they have like a lot of points and stuff, so they could just send me like a $20 gift card, like through points or whatever. Yeah. So like, and it's like, oh, like that's nice. That's like a nice sweet treat. Yeah. I'm like, I appreciate it. I will go get coffee. He's like, go get you and your girl coffee. And I'm like, the last time you sent it, I'm like, I mean, I will, but like, that ain't my girl anymore. Someone in the Discord actually was like, so like, is it going to be like a thing? I think Plant was like, is like busing going to like get old, or is it like become its own thing now? And I'm like, I mean, I feel like now it's just so much ingrained in the identity that like,
I feel like I feel like it lives independent of the trend. In a way that like it will survive after bussin' has long since passed.
Well, because like, as someone who didn't know about the bussin', like, because I still said it because like more so because you said shit.
Well, and I didn't know it was actually like a like popular like thing. I just saw like that one horrible video and I loved it and latched onto it, and then I found out like, oh, this is like a whole like people like say this.
Was that me? Oh, it looks like it was me.
Oh yeah.
I don't like that.
That it vibrates? Is that an upgrade from your iPhone?
No, just how loud that was on the table and that I could still hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Intro. I'll allow it.
Hello and welcome to the Bussin' Boys podcast.
Bussin' Boys.
I'm your host, Bussin', and this is your other host, Boys.
No, but you're the boys.
The boys.
You can't, we talked about this in pre-production. You've always been the boys.
It's always the boys.
I mean, I guess that's a really good way to that's the first thing we're going to go into is the discussion. But my name is Steve or Odie.
Hello, my name is Eric or BioChippy or RedactedASMR or any of the multiple.
Just don't call him late for dinner.
I am hungry.
We were given a donation to go get Culver's.
Good.
After. Which is why I'm glad I got coffee to satiate my hunger. I also got Chipotle because, I was already at Verizon.
Wait, when you got coffee, you also got Chipotle?
No.
Oh,
when I went to Verizon earlier, I got Chipotle.
You really drove your ass over here.
I just, decided on my way down to stop at, the shopping center, off the freeway, full of traffic, and get Chipotle.
Yeah.
Wait in line with my Starbies and my full tank of gas, going, ooh, it's storming outside. And, which I didn't know a storm was coming because my tattoo didn't get itchy.
Well.
Which, is some very big, Ohio shit. But, actually, it's
people
big
in
Kansas
Ohio
energy.
don't have tattoos. They're not allowed.
You're right. That's why they're all criminals. And that's the tea.
And that I didn't like looking at that.
The straw hurts my teeth.
I also didn't like hearing it. It's a metal straw.
Well, I got bone teeth.
Bone app the teeth.
I just want the last little sippy.
Lasagna.
Lasagna. Okay. So, and this is the third episode of the Bussin' Boys podcast.
Yeah,
we should finish the intro.
This is the Bussin' Boys podcast.
Yeah, where it's just two guys being dudes.
Busting it open.
Bushing.
Just bushing it.
Just bushing ourselves to one another and just seeing what's inside.
Yeah. Throw it at the wall and see what sticks.
This ass.
Shoot it at the wall and see what sticks.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm the gross one?
Name one time I've been gross.
Earlier. When you were in the bathroom.
What?
Yeah.
When I didn't do anything. You're creating a narrative.
And why were you in the bathroom?
Because I had to pee, and I thought maybe I'll take.
So you did something.
I might do a precast poop. Who doesn't do a precast poop? It's the PCP.
Yeah.
I do PCP in the bathroom.
PCP in the bathroom. Jesus Christ.
That's a good title.
I do PCP in the bathroom. I'm not looking to get flagged on our third video.
What? It's precast poop. I applied for a PPP loan, which is the pre-podcast poop loan, where you give me a few minutes to go take a shit in the bathroom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But so previously, up to this point
on
in
the
our
Bussin' Boys podcast,
Dolphin Girls, Kurt Angle,
Turtle Women, and Kurt Angle.
I swear to God, you posted about fucking stars and Entourage, and I lost my goddamn mind.
I think they have Entourage.
Which, of all things, I didn't like when I was listening to it when I was in the gym the other day, just to critique myself and have that one mildly constructive criticism comment rack through my brain for hours,
haunt you,
as it should. I'm like, why the fuck were we talking about Entourage? And
because we started talking about stars.
I don't
know how we got to stars.
And I'm just like, I never expected in my life to talk about Entourage, but also it could be a brand. We also, I don't even remember where the origin of Dirty Steve and the Boys came from.
I don't know.
But it's been a thing for a long time, 5-6 years at least.
At least.
I keep saying old apartment, but you and I know that old apartment.
I know what old apartment means, but it's not the most recent old apartment.
We haven't lived in that apartment since 2015.
Yeah, pretty much.
So 5-6 years ago, but that's the old apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of it every time. And it was I forget even what we were doing. We would just be like, yeah, we're Dirty Steve and the Boys. And I go, I'm Dirty Steve.
And I'm the Boys.
And we just got one boy.
But I'm the Boys.
He's the Boys. And now look at us with a podcast.
The Bussin'
and the
Boys.
microphone. Bussin' Boys.
We just had to slightly rebrand.
A slight slight. I mean, we could have a segment where it's Dirty Steve and the boys keeping it real, or no, keep it raw, and it's about like the dumpster diving we did.
When did we dumpster dive?
I don't. I just take a lot of your hand-me-downs.
Yeah, that's true. I did find that the Rockstar, rock band.
Yes.
That's a thing. That rock band
drum set.
Oh,
that was our band.
Dumpster.
We were gonna make our band
Dirty Steve
and the Boys.
Yeah,
but then I think Brandon was busy, so then the whole joke became that it was
the
me
boys.
on bass, you on guitar because I'm not, or no, you on drums because I'm not playing guitar. That's a lot. I'm an expert. It's a hard note. Bass gets a whole extra note, so that's actually tough. I say knowing I can't hit two buttons at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Dirty Steve and the Boys.
It's been that way ever since.
Yeah, but now we're bushing boys.
We bushing and gushing.
This is what I'm saying. Why am I the gross one?
Can Gushers please sponsor the podcast? Thank you.
Gushers are disgusting. Have you had one since you were an adult?
Yeah.
And they're gross.
No, I bought a box of them, and there's only 6 that come in the box, 6 packs.
Yeah.
And I ate all of them in one sitting. Well, I tried to give myself a break, but self-control.
Yeah.
And I was like, these are gushing. And I wasn't aware of the time that I thought we were supposed to be on. Oh, wow, these are gushing. And I was like, oh, these are okay. And I'm like, oh, they're really sweet. And then I'm like, they're really sweet. I'm like, ooh.
Cloying.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, am I going to get the beatus from this? And I was like, I'll have another pack and see. And then I ate through the whole box.
Yeah.
Also because I didn't want Tyler to have any.
But did you enjoy them?
Yeah.
That's Gushers, baby.
I'm the Joker, baby. For context, I bleached my hair last year during quarantine, and which was a whole experience. Which
you did.
Anyone who now, if you guys see me from my stream and whatnot, you guys. When you shouted me out and we did that first stream together, I had just cut off all my bleached hair.
Yes.
So y'all missed the Joker, baby. That phase, which
it was so bad,
but so good.
Okay.
No, just the fact that Taylor in particular not understanding what's happening, and then y'all would just keep repeating it. And we're just all we're the Joker, baby. You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't get it.
But I bleached my hair because I wanted to make it silver gray, and it turns out that if you have dark brown black hair, it is hell to get your hair just gray. And so Tyler and I are doing our best with bleaching it a shit ton and Guy Fieri for a bit. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh yeah, why don't you just use toner? And Tyler's like, that's not gonna work. It worked immediately.
Well, yeah, that's literally what toner's for.
Yeah, but I need to listen to her because she's right.
Tyler knows exactly how to dye her hair, but it's her hair.
Mm-hmm.
And it's different. Because it's different hair.
Yeah. She's tall.
She is tall.
That's it. That's the only thing about her that I know. She's tall, and she has a lot of internalized issues that she puts out on others. Just like the rest of us. She's just like us.
She's just like us, guys.
Let's do a new segment where we talk about one of our friends as if they're a celebrity and go deep into their lives without their permission.
There you go. And then later invite them on the podcast, but don't address it.
Or no, question them and be like, did you hear that on the Bus and Boys podcast episode 3, they said you were tall? Do you have any comments?
Any thoughts?
As if we weren't the ones.
We weren't the Bus and Boys?
Well, we're the Bus and Men.
Well.
In the future.
We got to get our suits out. Bus and suits.
Bus and we had to do it to him. God, I don't even. Yeah. Anyway, I dyed my hair because she had leftover green dye, and so I dyed my hair green. And with my my hair was so long at that point that it was slicked back, but only a solid 6 inches was blonde, which didn't look terrible, but it wasn't great. It was one of those where Steve, you need to cut your hair, and I'm like, but I put so much work, and it's Steve, you got to do it. So I would just dye my hair green, and then I just started going around every time we'd hang out at Brandon at Taylor's house.
You're the Joker, baby.
I'm the Joker, baby. And in the same cadence that made no sense. And it was just, yeah, Steve's the Joker.
He's the Joker, baby.
You should, if you have to ask, you can't afford it. No one's crazy enough to be my Harley Quinn. the fucking most cursed image to me is the Kylo Ren, Rey Skywalker spoilers. Ooh, I definitely peaked the audio. Trying to blow my brains out. Oopsie whoopsie, I fucked up the audio. And you know, with like the edit that makes it like, you know, she was like crazier than him, and like Noah could stand between their love. Queen. I fucking hate you. And they make her look like Harley Quinn. Yeah, that was just garbage.
It's good. A little better than the last movie.
You know, Last Jedi was good.
Was that the second one? Yeah, that one was good.
We talked about this recently when you were putting off writing one of your episodes.
Yeah, which is pretty much always.
True.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to go home and like work on stuff. You also have to work on stuff. Yeah. And then we were like, let's talk.
Let's just keep talking. And like, let's just keep slowly moving closer to the door. And then also sometimes back, though.
It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Very that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan. Like,
yeah. I like the idea of Star Wars, and like, you know, like the world is great and everything. And then if someone was to actually say like,
have you looked outside? I would disagree.
Yeah, if someone was to actually say like, oh well, like let's sit down and watch one, I would just be like, no.
Oh God, no.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Like, I will say that, and I think we both kind of agree that like Star Wars as like a world and like the visuals are very fun. Yeah. The original trilogy, it's trash. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but it's a relic of its time. I can understand like the respect that's given to it. You know, I personally loved Episode 1, and I will die on that fucking hill because like, who didn't want to race pod racers as a kid? Yeah. And like, I didn't mind Jar Jar Binks. Apparently, I'm the only person.
Well, I was gonna say that's the line, is that like I also did not mind the first movie, but like I had the wherewithal to hate Jar Jar Binks.
You said that too as a child. You said, "I have the
wherewithal."
He's like, "Did you pack it?" And you're like, "My wherewithal." Why, yes. And you pulled out a small briefcase. A little man, little Eric with his little business suit, being a bussin' lad.
I had a little suit when I was a kid.
Did you really?
Only when I was like very little.
Was it because you wore it to a funeral?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that someone dying makes you laugh.
At least they're not banned.
I don't know who it was. I don't remember who died, but yeah.
Because I'm like, what other context does a kid have to have a suit? You're not Catholic.
No.
But, well, did you have to wear a christening dress?
I had my quinceañera dress. But that was years later.
Yeah.
I was 15.
Oh, of course. How could you do this on the day of my cat's quinceañera? I love that. I love that tweet. But yeah, no, like, Star Wars for me is very much like, because like there's people that make it like their whole identity, which like, you know, go off. And like I feel like, because I was talking with Tyler about this, that like there are definitely people where like they have one identity, like their one main hobby is like the thing they do, the horse girl, and like
Harry Potter people.
True. See, like I like Harry Potter, but it's not my identity. Yeah. You know, like I love Destiny. I know way too much about Destiny, but you would never go, oh yeah, like Steve's a Destiny guy, like that.
Yeah, no, I say Steve's a D&D guy. Which is funny because you like Destiny more, I think.
I mean, I really do enjoy D&D.
But somehow you like archetypically amongst our friends, you were like
the D&D one.
Well, because in that friend way where it's like it's like when you're growing up and your parent has to figure out what you like. Well, actually, a lot of times parents decide what you like, but like once the parent like decides, like
it's pride.
Well, like when the parent like figures out like the thing that you like, they're like, oh, do you like trains? And you're like, yes. So then it's like, oh, great. So now every year I can just get them something train related.
I'm done raising
dinosaurs
my kid.
Or like, you know, whatever. I feel like friends start to fall into that where it's like, okay, well, you know, it's Christmas time. I need to get my friends stuff. Well, Steve's the D&D guy. I'll find something.
You get me anything D&D, I'm going to love it.
Right.
Which it would,
Brandon likes Ethereum.
Yes.
So I'll buy him.
Oh, really? In this economy? Well, now you're getting a steal on it. Much to his chagrin. Well, yeah, because like you're hard to buy for, but I'm also like, okay, whatever game we like I buy you a lot of art books too, because you do like those.
I do.
And like, you know, you like having things that like you may not like.
I never open, but I like having them.
Yeah, because it's one of the things where you're like, ooh, I would get this if I just had the money for it, like just sitting around to do it.
Yeah.
Strictly to be just part of the collection.
Yeah.
That like you maybe do flip through like the one time, but you don't sit down and fucking read the goddamn thing.
No.
And vice versa. Like I don't read half the shit. Like Tyler got me all those D&D books, and I'm like, I have to flip through some of them.
Yeah.
But that's
but they look lovely on a shelf.
Mm-hmm. Like I just like
genuinely.
Yeah, like they look good. Like that's what I like, and I like my special edition hardcovers that I have. And like like I like D&D, but I also like I hate talking about characters in D&D.
Yeah.
And not like, oh, like this was a character I played and here's like some stuff we did.
Yeah.
Because that's always kind of interesting. Like I know like when we kind of like we finished mostly like our campaign and we kind of like fell out of D&D, and I also had started playing at the store, and like just because like I wanted to play and not have to DM. Also learned that, you know, our leveling was wrong.
Yeah.
We don't get an ASI every level. Much Brandon shouldn't have 22
It was a lot of fun, though.
It was. Brandon having 22 strength at level 8 was nuts.
We had a good time.
Do you remember the ogre fight?
Yes, I do.
That ogre fight where like I didn't learn to just fudge rolls, so he couldn't hit, and then you guys were just chipping the smallest damage, because I'm pretty sure we also did damage calculations wrong. Because
we did damn near everything
the worst way,
just wrong enough.
that like it's almost right in a fucked up way.
It worked, but
I mean, like D&D is also all about like fun. Like the rules don't really matter. It's just, you know, more so of like they do matter, but only to a certain point. And like the rule of cool, which I've always been real big on. But like
they exist as a framework to make the entire thing work. So as long as the thing works, that's what matters.
Yeah, but like I've had people, and even more recently, where it's like, well, do you have any characters that like you've been really wanting to play, and like do you have a backstory for them? And like I feel terrible because my answer is always no.
Yeah.
And to be frank, like I'm not.
Well, you should be Steve. Because you're the only one.
There's a lot of Steves.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm not unique.
Well,
I'm one of a kind. Like, so like playing in like Adventurers League, which is like that like organized play. So it's like you create a character, and like there's like pre-written adventures, which is like there's a large team of people on like the Adventurers League that help like write them. I've actually gotten to like play and have dinner with one of the writers, which is really cool. And he actually took my advice and put a cap of water breathing in a tier 4 adventure, which just makes it so that you can breathe underwater, but it's a non-attunement item.
Okay.
So basically you can breathe underwater. You wear this little like shower cap thing. And because I was bitching about how like it sucks in tier 4 content that like there's never any just like a way to just like buy an uncommon item. Like you have to just find it and then like roll for it, versus like someone just selling it. So it's like, oh yeah, if you can dump like, you know, 2,000 gold, you can get a water like just written as part of it. And I'm like, yes, I'm like, that was me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like a lot of my like character creation background stuff, like I don't think of a background for a character until mid conversation when I'm playing a game. I just decide, you know, Titus is, you know, loyal. He has a code, but he's also like a rogue, and like he likes to fight. He's been to jail. He's not afraid. And like when they had to go to court, and you know, for breaking and entering and shit, he first of all tried to hide from all the guards by stabbing himself and laying down in a closet, acting like he also was attacked, even though he was not dressed to be like living here in this house. And then because like my DM is a lawyer, and so anytime where there's like a court, like legal proceeding, it's like you got to be careful because he will.
I should also say, like, I don't know that many D&D like adventures go into the legal realm.
No, but like with rules, lawyering quite literally is like the joke. But like, you know, following the rules like as written, especially because we play a lot of Magic the Gathering, so it's like, what does the card say? Like that's very important. Like how is it written?
Right.
And like that creates a bunch of shit that like breaks. And so I will gush about just this one thing because it explains like where I didn't think of this beforehand, because like otherwise like he's gonna be a dude who punches. That was it. That was my whole character plot, and I made it up like the day before. And we go to like the courtroom, and because he's not smart, and he's not really that wise, but like he's cunning. Like it's one of those where it's like if he just applied himself, he could do really good things. But he's almost there. It's right at the edge of his nose. And so I go, you know what, guys? Like, we're all about to like stand on trial for like killing this person. Which, side note, it's literally written in that like some like other NPC literally just bails you guys out, and like it doesn't become an issue. But I didn't know that, and we didn't know that. And so I was like, guys, everyone, I will take the stand. And they're like, how do you plead? And I'm like, I plead guilty. And I just started listing off every single crime I could think of. Like, under oath, I'm not on trial for any of these other crimes, but I'm just saying every crime. And like, Lauren is just looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? Just like so confused, and everyone's just like, and I'm just going. He finally comes to me and he's like, what is the meaning of this? And I'm like, I lean over to Gabe and I go, if you admit to every crime, they can't try you for every crime. Exactly. Like what? Like it's a double jeopardy.
Right.
But
yeah.
Which is very on brand for someone like me to do like that, like,
yeah.
Like it's like the whole like Arrested Development joke where it's like they can't try a husband and wife for the same crime, and it's like, yes, they can.
They can.
And it's like, oh, I've made a huge mistake. But like more so just like, look, if I commit to every crime, there'll be too many crimes for them to try to even convict me, and they'll just let me go. Yeah. And like I said it with the confidence that like this has worked before, which I kind of just was like, maybe it has, maybe it hasn't, but like I don't give a shit about backstory. All that matters is the things that you do with them, the interaction you have at the table. So anyway, I love when people go off about their stuff, but like I have nothing to contribute. Did you see Avril Lavigne's back?
She never left.
She's making punk. Well, she's making punk music. She was in a TikTok with Tony Hawk.
Okay.
That was the exact same reaction I had when I discovered it.
That feels like the phrase Avril Lavigne was in a TikTok with Tony Hawk just sounds like some sort of Mad Libs gone very wrong.
Like some corporate headline.
Yeah.
That's some industry plant bullshit.
Yeah.
But apparently she's making a punk album.
Oh.
Which, like, I mean, good. Punk rock is kind of like coming back. I shouldn't say punk rock coming back. It's
It never left.
Pop punk is kind of coming back. As it should.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. That's just the way I see it. I understand that sometimes I talk too much and don't let you finish your point.
Have you ever felt personally victimized by a comment?
Yes. That very one. That I was like, oh, God. Because, like, I know that, like, I talk a lot.
Yeah.
Once I'm comfortable. If I'm comfortable, people, like, I'll fucking go off.
You also talk when you're uncomfortable.
Oh, I really do. It's actually a lot worse when I'm uncomfortable.
So what we're getting at here is that you just always talk a lot.
I just want someone to talk faster than me so that...
I don't want to be in that room.
Do you know how tired I am of talking?
I know how tired you look.
Why am I here? Just to suffer?
Only to suffer.
And like, I'm pretty sure it's just because like with like my ADHD and like my medication that like what I think is a normal pause is not a normal pause to everyone else. Cause like I'm having this conversation on like 1.25 times speed.
Well, I will say you have gotten better about, there was a distinct part of, you know,
the choking thing.
Yes, I am glad you got over that, but that's not what I'm getting at. Which without context, that sounds a lot more interesting than it is.
Well, I got my wisdom teeth removed, and that helped actually a lot.
Yeah. No, but you used to do a thing. I think it was kind of like maybe when you had first like started having medication for it, and so you were like adjusting, where you would just start in the middle of a sentence and not know that you had said the first part.
That I was still like thinking, like I was thinking in my head and like talked out loud.
Yeah, and so I'd just be like sitting there, and then I'd have to literally stop you and be like, "Hold on."
Beep, beep, back it up.
We need to hold on, wait a minute, roll that back because I ain't with it. I need to know what the beginning of the sentence was.
Yeah, like every time Steve would start talking, we'd go, where did it start? Where did it start? Stop. Everyone pipes up.
I hate that.
I feel like I've been dominating a bit.
Yeah.
Which isn't always an issue. It's an issue because that one comment got to me, which was like a very solid constructive criticism, but like also sometimes.
Well, the comment was that you cut me off and then we don't circle back to what I'm saying. But I don't think that's happened this time.
No, I wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
You to go back to what we're talking about.
Well, if you just never let me speak, then there's nothing to circle back to.
Fix it with violence. You know. Oh my gosh. Going off. But so you're gluten intolerant. What's this all about?
It's not fun. I am non-celiac, gluten sensitive.
Oh.
Which was previously known as gluten intolerance. So like I can't do gluten now.
It's the only thing we don't tolerate in this house.
You're right. We don't stand gluten in this house.
There's some gluten in this house. Get it away from me.
Yeah.
It'll make my stomach rumbly.
My intestines go, no.
my body will go bush.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so that's a thing that I'm having to figure out now. So like there's definitely like the main thing is that just like there's like now I can't have pizza, like normal pizza. I can have like, you know, gluten-free pizza and everything, which like is fine, but it's not the same. I love pizza so much and I can't have it now.
We can't just get some Ray's pizza.
Exactly. Which that bites. Like I can still have wings.
Well,
though.
I get a bite. You don't.
And we would love you to join us for a bite. Yeah, no, I mean like I can still have wings, but now I can't have like boneless wings, which is sad.
Which so that you can't have wings.
Right now, in the current wing market, anyway.
Dude, don't fucking tell me about the goddamn wing market. There's no wings. All these chickens, and they got no wings.
Yeah.
But people want it.
Well, can you blame them?
Yes.
You should. It is their fault.
You know, I've been watching a lot of Lucifer. I'll let you continue. But, like, because it made me think of this.
I'm going to let you finish. But I've been watching Lucifer, and, like, one of the characters, God, a whole fucking to do, season 5. God had dinner with his kids. Like, in Linda's house, the therapist, who also has an angel baby, and has been the therapist to the devil, and, like, now knows that, like, all of these things are real. It is like, I guess I'll have dinner with God. Work.
Very uncomfortable the whole time, which is a mood.
Yeah.
And she mentions, oh my God, that's why everything tastes like chicken, because your favorite food is chicken.
Oh.
And I was like, I know that's just like something like someone wrote, and like God doesn't like confirm or deny it or anything, because she's like, she just goes, it's because your favorite food is chicken. She goes, I'm very uncomfortable, like, because like they had a whole fight or whatever about how God doesn't love them. It's a whole to do. The show's still good. Also, the main actor who's British, his evil twin Michael.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say evil. His twin, who always lies and is arguably far more evil than Lucifer is, because you know he doesn't make people sin. People just sin.
Yeah.
He's just there for a good time. He's just there to punish because that was his job. The actor uses an American accent.
Okay.
And I will show you a video of it later because it is so unnerving. It is so uncomfortable. Like I physically don't like it because I'm like,
well, is it uncomfortable for you though because you've known him with a British accent?
Yes,
so
but
like, for me, it's going to be meaningless.
Yeah, well, like you'll see what I mean. Like, because even as an American accent, like it's off and like almost to the point where you're like, how is that the same voice coming out of the same actor? Which my theory is that Tom Ellis actually has a twin brother who was raised in a
America.
Weird, fucked up part of the States where they have this weird ass American accent.
Yeah,
and like, but he also like stoops a little. There's a lot of like actually really good now that I'm thinking about it, like the themes and stuff that are set up, like how it reflects. It's a whole thing. Anyway, tell me about your gluten.
I can't have it.
Gluten time. Where is it?
Can't have it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Not loving it. Yeah, no. So I mean, like it's taking some ingestion, but like I can still have potatoes.
Well, that's good.
And
You're
that's
Irish.
what matters. I am. Yeah. So like that. That's.
I mean, you could just make like they have like cauliflower crust and whatnot, right? That would
be
like gluten free.
It's a motorcycle.
That's the Doppler effect.
He's never been outside before.
Outside. I'm like Zuko when I let him out in the patio, and he's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Do you want to look over the side?" And he's like, "No."
Okay, so there was a little baby gecko in my bathroom.
Gex?
Yes.
The Gex was in your home?
He was in my home. Well, child of Gex. Gex 2. Gex Jr. So there was a gecko that was in my...
Not actually the Gex son.
He's not related to Gex.
They named him Gex Jr.
Gex Jr.
because off of the famous spy gecko.
Of course. So
Gex.
There was a little gecko in my shower. So I was like, oh shit, well, like I have to like...
Sounds like a song.
Little gecko in my shower.
Gecko in my shower.
So I had to get him out of there. So I was like, okay, I'm not just gonna like grab it because like that would not be fun.
Why would it not be fun to grab it?
His tail might come off.
A little like
if you scare them or they get stuck, like their tail can come off.
Well, that's how they can poop. You gotta pop a tail off so that
it can come out.
That's how you get the sweet nougaty nectar in the middle.
Oh my god!
You could literally eat his ass.
Anyway, so there was a gecko in.
Oh yeah,
my shower.
okay. This gecko story. Yeah, we're still doing this. Okay.
So like I got him like under a cup, and then like got the paper underneath it and like took him outside and got rid and put him, you know, outdoors. And then I was thinking about that though, and I'm like, where was he born? Was he like born in my house? Because like if he was like born in my house and that's all he's known, and then I just took him outside and just like let him out there, like this is an entire new world to him that's going to make no sense. Like, how's he going to find food?
Well,
what's he going to do? How's he going to find food in my shower?
Well, that was the first problem.
So like,
which means, I mean, do you have a scorpion problem?
No.
That could be because the gecko's been like eating scorpions.
He was very small.
He's very strong.
He could be.
I don't know if he's strong enough to fight outdoor scorpions.
We're gonna have to find out. No, I haven't seen any scorpions around here. But anyway, yeah, it just kind of made me think about that thing of I'm like,
there was the one in my sink.
It's the same thing of like if you know like if like a fly like flies in your car
and you're like, shoo fly, don't bother me.
Yeah, and then you know you're driving, and let's say you're driving to California, just cause.
Yeah. And
then you know like you get to California and you open your door and the fly flies out.
The fly, you've removed that fly from their family. Don't flies only live 4 hours? So the fact that like
they live like a day.
But like
you're driving fast.
If you drive pretty fast and that fly's still alive and like you drive for more than 24 hours, could that be the oldest fly who's also traveled the most distance?
Well, that's the thing though, is like now like, you know, that fly, like he spent his entire life trapped in your car. And now, you know, in his twilight years, Grampy Fly is now, you know, in a whole new place where he knows no one. He has no friends.
Well, I mean, if he were to become Grampy Fly anyway, he wouldn't know where he's at and wouldn't have any friends.
That's fair.
Flying.
Also, like, in order to be a Grampy, like, you have to have kids. And, like, unless there's 2 flies in your car.
Which, like, your mom lets you have 2 flies. If you have 2 flies in your car, you need to, like, wash your ass.
You need to just, like, throw the car away. Drive it off a cliff. Get a new one. Start over.
Cut your hair.
Get divorced.
Delete
he never loved you anyway.
Delete the gym. Facebook up. That reminded me of when I was a kid one time. My mom had this purple van. This purple, like, Plymouth Voyager.
Yeah.
And there was 2 parts to this, so my mom did this like cookie jewelry thing, which was ultimately one of those like MLM kind of shit where like, which she actually did fairly well, like selling jewelry, and like my aunt has always done like Avon and Mary Kay and all of that. So like there is a market a bit, but you know, I would argue they're not great and they're still kind of predatory, but like a lot less predatory than a lot of the shit that happens now, because now it's easier and it's like, I don't remember the last time I got invited to a Tupperware party, and I would also want to fucking die if I got invited to a Tupperware party.
I would kind of want to go to one. Well, no, because when I was a kid, like I didn't know like what a Tupperware party was, and I thought it was like literally just a party like celebrating Tupperware. And then to find out that it's like a sales pitch, I was disappointed.
I go, I want you to put spaghetti in that one.
Which like what?
I want a Tupperware that you can get the spaghetti sauce out of.
Like, what are you trying to like sell? Like do you have like examples of leftovers and you're like,
this is what I made my husband,
this is what the Tupperware does,
or my wife, excuse me, God,
devil's inside.
I spoke a gay marriage and it was like the devil the
devil
devil
came out.
God,
it's Pride Month.
But yeah, so anyway, so my mom, when she was like teaching figure skating, she had all of her jewelry like,
I don't think you said finger skating.
Here's her little
well, she bought Skechers shoes, so that way it came with a little toy, and you know.
I don't know what you're talking about. Is that a thing?
You don't know about that?
I had Airwalks growing up. I couldn't afford Skechers.
Oh well, I could only get like the cheapy ones that they would have like at JCPenney, like where they'd have like
you didn't go to Payless.
No, they'd have like the one style that like they would sell at JCPenney's, and it's like, I hope you like it, because like it's
your parents are getting one. Yeah. You're getting shoes. But can I get ones that are cool? You're getting shoes. Yeah, they go on your feet. But anyway, so my mom's car actually got broken into while she was teaching one time, and they shattered the full window of like the van door and stole all of that jewelry. Okay. And on a side tangent that's not related to why I brought this up, it was like 6 months later, and my mom gets a call from like a couple of the police officers, and we're like, hey, so you had your jewelry stolen, right? And she was like, yeah. She's like, you know, I already like gave up. You know, a lot of times they don't find this shit.
Right.
And it had been like 6 months. And it's like, well, we found a stolen car and we cross-referenced the items that were in there, and a lot of them were stolen, including the majority of your jewelry.
Oh.
And so she was able to like get it back because like she also had to like put up some money for that product, so like it's also
Right.
all gone. It was just one of those like, oh fuck. But although that's the nice heartwarming part, there was a time. So now imagine that even California summer can get hot.
Yeah.
Like, summer's hot in general, especially when it comes to cars. And we now have a trash bag taped over the thing because my mom can't afford to replace this, and we'll just have to get a new car because it's cheaper than replacing the glass in the van door.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens when you're poor, is that like poverty's expensive. And
It do be like that.
the system keeping us down. And so I remember I had a chocolate milk, and my mom had like plush seats, like is it polyester? That's like that plush.
No.
It's like a soft seat material that's like,
yeah.
it's not cotton, but like you upgrade to have like the leather seats, but
Yeah.
like not the material that's in my car, but like an even like cheaper, softer one.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, is, if you spill something, you need to clean it up immediately.
Yeah.
I spilt my entire chocolate milk all over the back seat and just was like, it'll dry and I don't have to tell my mom.
Ooh.
As we went to the ice rink at 7 a.m. because I also got a donut. That's what we stopped and got donuts, and I got chocolate milk.
I thought you were poor.
We got donuts. Donuts were cheap back in the 90s, man. Fuck you. Or early 2000s, whatever. I mean, post 9/11, donuts, you know.
Everything changed.
Donut prices in particular.
It's skyrocketed.
Why do they feel the need to make holes in donuts?
Well, not all donuts have holes. Only the good ones do. If people like jelly-filled donuts, they can go home.
Yeah.
It's just not it. It's not it, Chief.
Who wants that?
Like, there shouldn't be anything in the donut.
I'm just looking for a cream pie.
Because I'm
Like
going
a
to fill the
Boston cream
donut.
pie. Or like a Bavarian cream donut is good.
No.
No? What's your favorite donut?
No filling in the donut.
Oh, I'm a chocolate cake with chocolate cake donut with chocolate like glaze on top.
Mm-hmm.
That's the shit.
That's pretty good.
And if it's like fresh, so it's still like soft, that's when it's really good. You don't want to buy like the like pre-made ones that you can buy at like the grocery store in like the Hellman's brand. Like, I'd rather die.
Okay.
I'd rather cease to exist than
have a Hellman's donut.
Than have a Hellman's donut. Tyler bought them multiple times, and it was frustrating.
Well, I think this is as good a time as any to talk about our latest sponsorship. Thank you, Hellman's Donuts.
Hellman's Donuts. Man, you're in hell. No, but I spilled that, and then so we get back in the car, and it's like 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And
in the sun.
My mom's throwing up. I'm throwing up. My sister's throwing up. And she's like, what is it? And she's like, did you spill something? Because like you could smell it was hot milk sitting in the sun because there's no fucking like window. And it just cooked in these like velvet seats or whatever. And just, I go, I may have spilled my chocolate milk. And she just goes, just get in the car. And like,
and vomit.
Yeah, no, just get in the car and like drove and just stared straight ahead. We did not listen to gospel.
No.
It was a quiet drive. And anytime I talk, she'd go, you know, the whole like look up into the mirror.
Into
and
the mirror.
Like, I'm fucked up. And my sister's going. But, oh man. I go to Verizon. And aside from the fact that I thought iPhones did not have SIM cards, they do.
Yeah.
And which was cool to know. But like the entire reason why I went out of my way mid-work day to go was just to basically get it swapped, and then I want to take the phones back, go back home, and like I will take care of getting contacts and everything sorted over because I'm going to be at home, so you know I have the ability to do so. It's this guy who looks like, you know, hair slicked back, glasses clean shaven, taller than me, so a threat.
So anyone.
Yes, anyone. He's just like, yeah, what can we help you with? And he's got his little like mousy friend with his like, you know, big brown hair, glasses, and these like big eyes, and he's got the iPad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, well, I just need to like transfer, you know.
I think that they instead, when you come in, instead of like, how can I, like, you know, like, what can I do for you, whatever, they should say, how may I serve you? because that's uncomfortable. You know who would do that? Chick-fil-A.
You right.
And it's my pleasure.
Can I refresh your beverages?
I don't even think that was a line that they told her to say. I think that's just her.
She just would walk up and she would go,
May
I refresh your beverages? And it's like, no.
Yeah, I always said no. I never said yes.
Hate places where I can't refill my own drink.
Correct.
Because, well, I guess a sit-down restaurant's different.
Right. Well, that's different because like you have a server.
Mm-hmm. I have someone below me.
Yeah. Someone who, how may they serve me?
If I go to like a fast food place where like I've made my full transaction and received my food as I've left the counter, or I've been waiting to get called, like at that point, like
I've been calling all the stores. Appleton, Oshkosh, what else? Green Bay. I said I've been calling all these stores. No one has them.
My God. Sometimes that's me. Sometimes that's you.
I've been both.
Yeah.
Both parties in that have a point.
No one. Is there a winner in that?
No. Honestly, they're both right.
You know who the winner is? Is her mom, who just got to go to the game.
Who had to go to Appleton.
With my mom. And
the Packers are playing. And I should be at home watching the Packers.
But no, I'm here because you guys have had my peach bellinis.
Candle.
Fucking. It's such a golden era of YouTube of like
it
being
really
that
is.
Frustrated and like I totally get it. And then like that like comedy troupe that made the skit with it is gold.
10 out of 10.
We'll post it on the Discord or something.
10 out of 10.
No, so like I go in there expecting like, okay, it'll be probably about like a 15-minute thing. They might have to like clone the phone or whatever. Like maybe there's a charge because it's going from iPhone to like
good phone.
Android. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
The only reason I've had an iPhone 7 was because it was part of the deal like 5 years ago when I got my phone. Yeah. And I've just had it ever since. So like this is
frankly I've had it.
Yeah. Fuck you.
I think my new tactic is in order to so that you don't interrupt me, I'm just going to interrupt you more, and then it's just a level playing field.
Finally, a worthy opponent. Do you know how much I've wished for this? You know, it's like the immortal man looking for someone who can make him bleed.
Yeah.
To free him from this hell. Me in a conversation talking.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, and like we normally do. We do interrupt each other.
Yeah.
So like it happens, but like it's all in good fun because it's like side fun comment. And it's like, oh, side comment rift. Okay, great. Do we go back? If it was important.
Depends.
As you said, if it was important,
you get back to it.
Exactly.
If not, let it die.
As it should. Let the weak jokes die.
Kill them if you have to.
Lay in the dirt like the sad sack of shit you are.
So Verizon. So
I go in and like I said, I'm anticipating this to be like a little bit of like take a little bit of time. Like they'll probably have to like, go and then I can just like sit and dick around for a little bit. No, he goes, oh yeah, here, boop, pops up a SIM card, which blew my fucking mind that like there was a SIM card in it because as soon as I got the phone, slapped that fucker in a case because I'm not here to pay for broken phones.
Correct. And
I was like, oh, that's it. He's like, yeah, that's basically it. I'm like, do you think you guys could like make this take longer? Like almost like, can you at least lie to me and say that it's going to take longer to like do this than like how simple it was? And they were like, oh, ha ha ha, yeah. And then like,
and everyone on the bus laughed.
Yeah, but everyone went ha ha ha, all at once. It like simultaneous, and then I was like, shit, am I at the Apple bar, the Genius bar? Because they do have a hive mind. It's one thought, like
right.
Hive mind.
Yeah, that's what a hive mind would be.
Yeah, do you remember Gravemind?
I do.
He's in games.
Yeah,
the Hollow games.
This is stupid. One time, so like Halo PC was a thing. Like Halo 1 was on PC.
I just hate that everything has to be PC now. Like, can we just say the things we want?
I remember when I could just talk.
I'm tired of
without getting
goddamn
canceled.
Fucking, you know what? I'll say it. Grunt with a hard G.
Anyway, so there was Halo 1 on the PC. And I used to play it because I didn't have an Xbox. And this is a while ago.
That's right. I remember it was like a whole thing when Combat Evolved came out on PC.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't make the other ones come out.
Yeah, this was a while ago. So Halo 2 was out. Because Halo 2 came out. Halo 1 came out in 2001, which was fucking forever ago. It was 20 years ago. But
It's the
yes. But
dead.
I don't remember when Halo 2 came out, but like quite
After
a bit.
it.
Well, let's check that.
I'll look it up.
Fact check us on that one. So Halo 2 had come out, and then like after a while, Halo 2 Vista came out, and it was not Halo 2 PC, it was Halo 2 Vista because it was for Microsoft.
Why did I search nerdy alerts for Samsung phones?
Because
I just want you to know
you're 29 years old,
and I'm like, I need ideas.
Anyway, so Halo 2 Vista came out, and I decided that I was going to create my own like ARG for Halo without like asking Bungie about it.
We don't have to. Bungie doesn't have any control over their own, IPs.
Yeah.
You know what they do know? They're IPAs.
Anyway, so
Fix Crucible.
Can I get a new PvP map?
Can we get Trials?
Just kidding,
Not broken.
I don't like PvP.
Can we get more Gambit voice lines?
I don't know what I was gonna do now.
Can we get another mission with Hawthorne?
Can Hawthorne say something other than the stuff she says?
I do.
They finally got rid of that line she always used to say.
Oh, was it?
You just never quit, do you? They finally got rid of that one.
The whole city's been talking about how you and your clan have been
You and
cleaning
clan
things
went
up.
up, Joe. Yeah, they finally got rid of that.
I can suck my ass.
Can you guys make it so that the Cryptarch does something again? Because I missed Mr. Rahul. I don't actually miss Rahul. He can.
Okay.
die.
So, real quick,
Mhm.
2001 Halo Combat Evolved came out.
Correct.
It does appear that Halo 2 did come afterwards in 2004.
What is that, like an unverified tweet or something?
No, it's the official Wikipedia timeline, but I'm just choosing to add doubt that like they made Halo 2 first, which should be a fun conspiracy theory to push.
We should make a game where we come out with two.
Five Nights at Halo.
Two.
5
Nights at Halo 5.
Redacted.
5 Nights at Halo 5 is how it feels every time I boot that game up because it's hell.
What? If we really wanted to make a lot of money, we take your like 10 biggest characters and make like the
5 Nights at Redacted ASMR.
But they're all gonna hug you.
Milo comes around the corner and he's boggers.
Well, yeah, and he's got his little cane because he's a little busted paper boy. And he's like special delivery and he bops you.
There you go.
With his little Tommy gun. Pa, 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 pa.
So Halo 2 Vista.
Halo 3 came out in 2007.
Yeah, Halo 2 Vista. How about that?
What is Halo 2 Vista?
It's Halo 2 for PC, but it was specifically and only for Vista.
Oh, for Windows Vista.
Windows Vista.
Do you remember Windows Mojave?
No.
That was a thing.
No.
Yes, it was.
Wasn't that like the code name for something?
Code Lyoko?
Was that like the code name for Windows 98, you 29-year-old man?
Why must you do this to me? I could have sworn Windows Mojave was a real thing.
I'm pretty sure it was a code name.
Oh, it was in 2008.
The code name for Windows.
It was an advertising campaign conducted by Microsoft for Windows Vista in 2008.
So
okay, it was an experiment.
Okay.
The campaign was part of Microsoft's efforts to change what it felt was an unfair, negative consumer perception of the operating system.
Oh yeah, they pretended it was Mojave, and then people were like, and then they were like, surprise, it's Vista. It's those coffee crystals.
They did like a whole. It was like the whole like what brand is this? And it's like you actually have been eating real shit and human refuse, and they're like, oh my god, but Febreze. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so Halo 2 Vista came out.
Like they hated Vista, but they loved Mojave, and they were the same thing because it's all Mirage.
Yeah. So I would go back into.
I'm actually gonna pull up questions.
I would go back into Halo 1, and so like in Halo 1, you could change your name whenever you wanted. So I would go into Halo 1 matches that had like one person in it, and I had. Oh, sorry. I had changed my name to Gravemind. And so I would join these games where there was just one person like waiting, and I would join as Gravemind, and I had like some of his like quotes from like the Halo 3 trailers or whatever, or maybe from Halo 2, I can't remember. I would like have them like in another window ready, and then I would like paste them in, and so like submit them as though it was like I had just like Gravemind had like shown up and like would say his voice lines, and then I would leave. And then I was like hoping that somehow it would get back to me that someone like was like, hey, is there like an ARG happening on Halo PC that like Gravemind is showing up and like saying like quotes and stuff. And then I never saw any post about it.
Did you ever like, did you do it when people were like online?
Yes.
Oh,
I would do it like into like solo, like someone would like set up a server where, you know, like there was room for like 8 people and like Slayer, because you could just like freely make servers because like there wasn't matchmaking in that way. Like you would pick like servers, and so I would go into ones where it was just like 1 person or like 2 people, and I would go in there and just like spoop them with some Gravemind quotes and pretend to be Gravemind, and then immediately leave, because I was trying to like create an illusion that there was an ARG happening in the hopes that someone would then report on it, and no one ever did.
I love the energy of an ARG, and like I don't know if I could actually solve one, in all honesty, because like you kind of need a team effort. Like it's really hard, but also like I couldn't reverse. I feel like you'd have to reverse engineer it.
I think it depends on the ARG.
It depends on what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like, is it to like buy my new merch? You know?
Do you remember when Destiny did that ARG for the, what was that? It was like the Owl Labs thing or whatever the hell, when they were like, when SIVA was coming.
Oh, that's right.
And so then everyone had like the like infection, like nanites.
And then there was like some like text that we had to like decipher. That was the Rasputin text too. I think they also did something similar in Destiny 2.
Yep.
God, yeah. You know, it's like some of that stuff's really cool, but also like where people find it. Do you remember like DOB Labs, like shit show?
I was excuse me, I wasn't playing really much at that point, but I was keeping up on what a train wreck that turned into.
Where it's like nobody could do it. It was way too hard. And like, because I remember the first day that the Forges came out, and everyone's like, these are terrible because they're like so bad. Like, because they were so like, it was so like overtuned. But it's like, okay, but like, which they've gotten better about. Like the first, when we did the stream first season of the Splicer, like that stuff was hard. But like, it's like, oh no, it's just because I'm underleveled, and
we're
that
all
like
underleveled, we're brand new.
We're all gonna take we're gonna take longer, but like, it's not like we feel like we can't do anything.
Right.
I think I felt like I couldn't do anything because I was actually really underleveled. Yeah, which didn't help. But like doing the forges, and it's like, can you at least beat the first forge? And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Volunder Forge. Too much for me, man. It was way overpowered. And then they like fixed it, and then everyone bitched again. And I'm like, well, no, like I should be able to play the new content when it comes out, unless it's marketed as a
end game activity.
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't like, okay, well, you're gonna go in on raid day, like it's challenge mode, and like it's harder already, like for contest mode or whatever, and it's like that makes sense. But you also know well in advance versus just, okay, well, like the content's out today, and it's just like, get fucked.
Yeah.
So, you ready?
Is it question time?
Question time.
Question time.
What is it? All right, so
I think we have a lot of questions.
We do. We'll just start with the YouTube video. So, a side note: if you would like any of your questions, like your question to appear possibly and be answered, which I'm pretty sure we, now that we're kind of doing like this, like unless it's grossly inappropriate, like you may not like the answer, but we'll do it because it's a fun segment.
Okay.
You can do it. Comment on the video below, or comment in the comments below, and then like
also subscribe and ring that notification bell.
Yeah, every Thursday. No set time because Eric has to do all the editing.
Yeah. All right. So Starstruck Strawberry asks, what's your favorite BDG video, unraveled or otherwise? To start, and there's a second question.
Yeah. Brian David Gilbert.
Correct.
From Polygon.
Yes.
And his last video was the
Pokemon Edibility.
Was that his last one?
That was his final unraveled, yeah.
And that was the one that like he had always decided was going to be his final one? There was one that he was specifically going to do as his last one. Was that it?
It was that one. It was the edible Pokemon.
They're all so good. And I love all of his content.
They are. I think my favorite, so like I have a favorite unraveled and then like a favorite like not unraveled. I think my favorite unraveled is the Poke Rap.
It's really hard to not choose that, but I will choose one that's different. Like, I agree. Like, it's so well done. Like, and like true performance. For me, God, which one is it? It's the I'm trying to really quickly rack my brain. The Breath of the Wild recipes video is really fun.
Oh yeah, that one is funny.
But like that's just more of like a fun experience to go through the whole time versus like it just being real high quality.
Yeah.
I have a real big soft spot for the Fire Emblem, like
I don't think I ever actually watched that one.
where he talks about like it's really easy to like learn all 634 Fire Emblem characters' names because ultimately they're all tropes.
Yeah.
And like it does pretty well. Understanding the Kingdom Hearts story with like the hero's journey wheel is also really good.
I like the Waluigi one.
Oh, Waluigi's good. Kirby.
Yes.
Yeah,
that one's great.
I also really like the Crash Bandicoot one where he like
that's like the gaming setup one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Where he like makes his little 90s bubble and it's just no. I'm sorry. My favorite one I just now realized is the Sims one.
Oh yeah.
Where he like, makes the sad clown
refining his line.
Yeah, I think that was the first one I actually watched, but like that one's just got like that soft spot where it's just like it's not the best, but it's my favorite.
That one's good. His like non-unraveled videos, I love the sibling song.
I was going to say that when he put that out somewhat recently, right? Like that one was great.
That one's a while ago.
It's where like there's like the three siblings and like clearly one of them is like the only one that takes anything seriously, if I recall.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's great. Although the ice cream one was really good. He just put out.
I did watch that one. That was pretty good. His pepcorn one is also kind of funny.
Pepcorn.
I wouldn't actually.
I get good at jars. Oh, my like him talking about his brand. The one where he's like wearing this oversized suit and this fake goatee, and he's like, to grow your online brand, and because his girlfriend's Karen, right? That's her name, Karen Han, and like she's like also in the same suit with the goatee. It's so hysterical, like because it's like it's that like purposefully bad, that it's good.
Yeah, he's very good.
Funny man.
Funny.
The Halo novels was good too.
Yeah,
that came out on my birthday.
Yeah. R.I.P.
To my birthday.
Yeah.
There's no one coming to the party. You said they'd come this year.
Okay. So their other second part of the question was, what are our...
I think they get 2 questions, but continue.
Well, we did say they could have 2.
There's 2
and
of
only
us.
2. 1 question each, but we both answered. We can only give them half answers from now on. What are our opinions on the sea slug? Frankly, I don't have any.
You know what? I support sea slugs.
Oh.
And I think you should take a harder stance.
Bold. All right.
I think that the sea slugs know what they're doing. And you know what? Who am I to tell them they can't?
I think they know what they've done.
I don't think. You ask for atonement, but do you ever think that they did it on purpose?
What does a sea slug actually look like?
Every time I think sea slug, I just think salty slug.
Yeah,
which is
weird though, because like if you pour salt on a slug, it evaporates.
Yeah, well, like I know banana slugs. Like I've like touched a banana slug.
Yeah,
in California at science camp, it's a whole thing.
Do you want to show me on the doll where you touched the banana slug?
I licked it. You gotta lick the banana slug.
Did it taste like a banana?
No, it tasted like slug.
Work.
I got all those sluggies.
Gushing.
I got this slug slime gushing.
God.
You want to take some slug shots with me? Which sounds like a gun, but it's really this thick slime that's on the sidewalk. You just go and you scrape it up, and you could snort it, I guess, if you tried it out.
Well, he already made the line for me.
Look at the fucking line.
Look at that fucking line I take. All right. I guess this is a question. Have we tried British chocolate? Oh, sorry. This is from Maya. Have we tried British chocolate / sweets? Twix, Twirl, Double Decker, Curly Whirly, Galaxy Bar, Bounty, Flake, etc. Well, we have Twix. We have Twix here.
Unless it's a different Twix, which I can't imagine. It might be.
Yeah,
I've heard of a Galaxy Bar.
I've heard of a Galaxy Bar.
But no, I haven't.
I haven't had any of those. I have not had Flake, but I watched a video about how you make Flake.
Really?
Where like you actually like you have to seize the chocolate, so you like purposely like fuck the chocolate up.
Carpe choc. Carpe cocoa.
Yeah. So like you
seize the chocolate.
Seize the chocolate. You make the chocolate seize, which is normally a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then by doing that and then like rolling it out really thin and then like rolling it on itself, it makes this like flaky thing that like doesn't melt.
Oh.
Yeah.
The closest thing I've had to British candy is that at Blockbuster.
Someone spat on you one time when you went outside. That was a disservice to our British viewers. I apologize for that.
Sorry, chaps.
I'm sorry, chappers.
It's just you.
I'm sure your candy. Sorry, I'm sure your sweets are fine.
I was gonna say
in it.
Hello, Poppet. I love the Poppet sockets, right? Or no, the Funko Poppet.
No.
Funko Poppet.
Funko Poppet. Jesus Christ.
I'm not pretty late out, yeah? Let me funk my Kool-Aid Funko Pocket. Oh my god, no, I was gonna say, because this is not gonna be nearly as funny now, but like, the only British candy bar I've ever had was a Wonka bar. Blockbuster.
Is that British?
Gene Wilder isn't British.
He's not British.
But Charlie is. And it was in London.
Yeah. I think there's one other question.
I mean, there's more. There's a bunch of other Discord.
Oh, Jesse Love ASMR says, "Oh, I have questions." So,
two.
Announcing. How did we meet?
What?
How did we meet? That depends on what... When you say how did we meet, do you mean like when did we first come to know of each other? Because like...
We just went to school together.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like a passing thing where like we didn't like hate each other, but we just weren't friends.
Yeah.
We had a common enemy.
I didn't like you.
With Brendan.
That's true.
That day in science class, I missed every question on this chemistry test except one.
You got the one that mattered.
And Brendan got every question right except this one. Yeah. And he threw were you in that class with me?
Yes, of course I was. I did AP Chem.
Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah. I played a lot of cards in AP Chem. I used to do magic tricks because I gave up.
And we should clarify, this is not Brendan.
Yeah, different person. Yeah.
Although Brandon was also in that class.
That's true. Now that I guess you guys were. We just didn't hang out at all. Like, I didn't even think about it. I was too dumb. I didn't belong in AP Chem, but like I distinctly remember Brendan
mood lighting.
Yeah. Brendan distinctly lost his shit. Yeah. And like actually like,
well, he kept like going over the teacher, being like trying to like
little kid rage.
Yeah.
Like he got like real little kid mad about it. That like, and like I remember like I was just trying.
This is all in high school.
Yeah, high school. This is like junior year.
Yeah.
And I remember poking the bear and just being like, "Hey, if you want, I can tutor you sometime." And he goes, "Are you kidding me? Your stupid ass did this." I don't think he said ass, but it's the energy of it. Yes. Like you can correct me, like filter it for whatever was appropriate, but it's basically like, your dumbass
the vitriol
got this right.
There.
Oh my god, so much venom, which is fair. I'm still banned from his house, so yeah.
Let there be carnage.
Mm-hmm. Venom.
Yeah, so basically we met in high school.
We met in high school just by like virtue of knowing each other, mutual friends, because like Brandon we're both friends with, and then college, like when we actually became like friends, which I don't think we really thought we would be friends, which is really funny now in hindsight. Didn't. I actually thought you were actually like Brandon's really cool friend, and although you ghosted me in that class, is that like when Brandon and I lived at that apartment that was way too expensive for Brandon and I to live in, and like you came over, I think it was the first time you came over with Taylor once, and I was like, oh, this is like Brandon's like cool friend, and like, you know, because you know, look at you.
Well,
in all fairness,
look
now
at the material.
Yeah, and like, you know, I'm Brandon's loud friend.
Well, see, I was not a particularly big fan of you in high school, but it was for a petty reason. It was because, you know, Brandon and I were kind of drifting at that point, and he was becoming better friends with you. Mm-hmm. And so I was like,
now we've left him in the dust.
Like, this is the enemy.
Hang out with your Ethereum, your dog, and your wife.
There you go. Yeah, so it's
He's
like
this
is the enemy, and the enemy is loud. Mm-hmm. So that was why like I was not a huge fan of you. And then like in college, I actually got to know you, and I was like, oh, he's loud, but like he's also like, you know.
I'm just loud. He doesn't realize he's loud. That's the thing. And I mean, it was really that time we played with Josh. We played Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead.
Which was that was a really fun night.
Did you see that they're making like the people who made Left 4 Dead are making like basically a new version of it since Valve gave up on it?
Oh, that's awesome. Kind of like a like 343 taking over Halo sort of thing, but like hopefully will be good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks very like Left 4 Dead. But
yeah, I mean Left 4 Dead's fun.
It's like Bound to Die or something, or Bound for Blood, something with still the 4 like to be fun. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah. So that was basically.
Oh, that's what that game is. I saw that on Game Pass, and I'm like, oh, I was wondering what that was. I'll look into it. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just kind of became friends after that. Like we just slowly started hanging out like in college, just like because Brandon and Taylor, when they did start like hooking up ish to, we were then all hanging out, because at that point, freshman year, you guys were just commuting, and even sophomore year, you were still commuting. You commuted the whole time. You never actually lived in Tempe.
No. Well, I mean, like, just the fact that you were roommates with Brandon, like, then whenever I was hanging out with Brandon, it was always down in Tempe, because, like, I was still living with my parents. So it was like, if we were all hanging out, it was at his place, and you were there. And so that's how, like, I got to know you. And then after that, we would all just, like, hang out and stuff.
Yeah, I can't think of, like, when, now that I'm thinking about it, like, when would I consider, like, okay, now, like, we actually are, like, the good friends we are? Because I don't remember when that happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was last week, actually. We realized.
I'm actually still waiting for it to happen.
You haven't accepted my friend request on Facebook, so can we really say that we're friends?
Are we friends?
Or are we just here to suffer?
Why not both? Porque no los dos.
You said that really quickly, and I'm impressed.
Okay, so if you had to choose, well, this is to both of us, but we'll start with you, since this will probably go, well, I don't know. If you had to choose one of Eric's characters' lives to live out in their entirety, which one would it be? Knowing very little about my characters.
I appreciate that everybody wants to know this, but I hope you all understand at home.
He doesn't watch my stuff.
I don't. It's bad. I don't know why you like it.
And I don't talk to him about it.
Well, we do talk about it, but like in like like the large lore, like the world
larger
building,
beats than
I don't need to care. Be the pizza guy.
There you go.
Because I know that one.
I guess.
Well, who would you live?
If I had to choose one of my characters, I'd pick Milo's listener, because you get to be a stealth, so you can like cloak yourself and like phase cloaky stuff. Plus, I guess, I mean, you get to fuck Milo, which sounds pretty fun. So
the street urchin boy.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Pennsylvania 420 asks, do you guys ever tell each other or other friends of the shenanigans that happen in the Discord servers and streams if they miss anything?
Yeah.
I would say to the point where it probably annoys them.
Yeah, well, I would actually argue that it's more that not like I will tell you on shenanigans that are happening. Not so often is my stuff over on your stuff. It doesn't cross over that much because they're all fake fans.
Well,
but more so that like I know you don't really read everything, and like on my Discord, I turned off so that like unless you ping me directly, but like you'll tell me about like some weird funny shenanigans that are happening, and you know, a lot of times it's more so like because of like I know the stream, but that's not the question. It was Discord, so
Well, it also said or streams.
Yeah, in that case, in streams I will, because you don't always watch all the streams, which you don't have to. You're my friend, you know. But like sometimes there is some like bullshit shenanigans.
Okay, so Blue Sky asks, when was the last time you got to tell someone I told you so? Odie, I know you have stories you like to tell on your friends. And they also have a second question afterwards. But we'll do that. What was the last time you told someone I told you so?
It was with Tyler, for certain. Because contrary to what y'all might believe, it is very much so Eric tells me I told you so. Although we don't really even say I told you so. No, because that kind of comes off as like...
I just let the reality sink in.
Well, Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
I'll tell myself.
It's true.
But I think it was with Tyler. I don't remember what the context was. But it was like her having to go and do something. I'm like, you know they're just going to do this, right? She's like, no. And then she comes back and I'm like, did they do that? And she's just like, I don't want to talk about it. And I'm just like, like little ESPN music. I don't know. Like I hate that because I'm like, that's a really good question that I'm like, I wish I had better stuff for it. But like, it's more so in the moment, or like we don't use that same phrase.
I think I had like, well, I guess you could say it was like kind of an I told you so moment when we did the raid with Vaulted Glass and you blamed me. And then I was like, no, you did it wrong.
You did it wrong. And I'm just like,
but in the moment I was like too busy just trying to like get it done. And I'm like, and I was a little shy. I was dainty.
You were already grossly out of your comfort zone, which is hysterical because like
out of my comfort zone.
Raid and Kenny and all that were just jazzed to have us in general.
I know. And they were so sweet. And like, I'm really
too
enjoying
sweet.
What's your problem?
Stop it.
Why are you so
Knock it
fucking
off.
nice?
What are your fucking secrets?
What do you want from me?
Give me the damn loot.
No.
2. I'm pretty sure
that definitely peaked the audio. No, but No, but like, that was probably that's the last time I can think of.
It's more of like, it's
That's
not
not
and I
exactly
told you so, but the same energy of what I think you're looking for is the constructed lie. Like, or we both do this to each other. I guess it's kind of like gaslighting, but like it's, well, like I did get hacked in RuneScape, and it's the no. Say what you actually
Say what actually
did.
happened.
Do you want to give some more details for me, sis? Like that kind of stuff where like, especially if we're with someone else and you'll be like, oh yeah, we did this. I'm like, no, you did not. I'm pretty certain
I think,
that you did this. And mostly that was with Tyler a lot, especially when we lived together. That was where like, because you could pull anything over her. Well, it's tough. She's so tall. You gotta hoist. I'm glad we had the same. Gotta take the rope and
Oh my god. Okay, and Blue Sky's second question is, what was cool when you were young but isn't cool now?
R. Kelly.
The ice caps?
Get 'em. God, I mean, like anything from the 90s, really.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of one of those things where it's like,
Fashion's too easy.
It's the whole like guilty pleasure thing where it's like, it's only guilty because you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
when we
no
were
matter
young.
what you do, someone thinks it's cringy, even if it's popular at the time. Then the people who don't like popular stuff think it's cringe. So
yeah, like I don't know.
Like I guess like like punky emo-y music isn't like as cool now as it like at least popular as it was then. But like I still think it's cool, so that's what matters. So fuck them.
Punk never dies.
But Avril Lavigne does and gets replaced. Allegedly.
I mean, there was like the whole Pokemon thing, like Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh, where like that, like there suddenly was an age where it was bad.
But see, I think Pokemon stayed cool, and I think Yu-Gi-Oh did not.
Yu-Gi-Oh did not.
I didn't.
They just had too many weird spin-off shows that like went too far.
Yeah, like Beyblades.
Yeah.
I was kidding.
Yeah, but Beyblades did do that too.
I was implying that Beyblades is a spin-off of Yu-Gi-Oh.
I thought when you just said spin-off because like you let it rip and it spins. There's too many levels. The iceberg here. You know what? Honestly,
Kool-Aid Jammers,
original Smosh content.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing. It's like the like YouTube from a decade ago, like when we were in high school.
Yeah,
was a lot different to the point where like Live Lava Live.
Yep.
Who I watched a lot of. Mitchell. Shane Dawson.
Yeah.
Oh, can't say it. Jeffree Star, no.
He wasn't on. He was still on MySpace doing songs at that time.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
But yeah, all that like YouTube era, like that stuff that like was influential for us. Like I remember old YouTube, which you see sometimes when people show super old videos and it doesn't look real. Like it looks like this is what a studio thinks YouTube looks like. And it's like, no, it did look like that.
Yeah.
And then I remember when they like came out with the updates and it was like, whoa.
Yep.
This is cool.
Do you remember when it used to have like ratings? Like you would do stars on videos.
Yeah.
And it was like 5-star this video.
Oh, like same thing in the same energy. It was like E-Bombs World or Newgrounds.
Yes. Funnyjunk.com.
Funny Junk. Oh my god.
Miniclip.com.
Miniclip. Yeah, all of that stuff. Which like some of it still slaps, but it really doesn't. So that's it, now that we're in the like internet age. I feel like we can take that. That's the thing that isn't cool anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Chappers.
Oh, he already did ask 2 questions, but we can give him this one
after we attacked his sensibilities and his country of origin. So
he's unstable. He leans.
The man has 2 legs. Don't be that way.
Yeah, but are they his?
He's jumping with both legs in excitement. Okay.
He jumps for joy evenly. He doesn't hop. He jumps.
He puts his pants on like everyone else, both legs at a time with a little hop. Chappers asks, have there been any style choices, clothes, hair, maybe a phrase or affectation, where the other was like, looks good, but you really thought it was awful? I infer that Eric regularly cuts Odie down, rightly or not, at every available opportunity. But maybe there was an instance where he held his tongue. All right, first of all, I would just like to say that you cut me down just as much. It's just what we are.
What are you talking about? I'm very supportive.
Uh-huh.
I name one time.
Every fucking time. Like, that's just like what we do. We cut each other down.
Yeah, like you're not allowed to feel good. You know you're doing something right. Like if you were to just say like, "Oh, you look good today," I'm like, "What's the ploy?
Right.
Where's the gamut?
Yeah.
You know, like what's this? What is this? Where's the camera? Like you fucking with me."
Yeah.
So
I don't appreciate that you're trying to make it sound like I am the only one who cuts him down. But if we're asking the question of, was there an instance where I held my tongue, or like, have there been style choices? Okay, so have there been style choices where like we lied and told the other one it looked good, even though like it didn't?
No.
Or like with affectations.
I mean, at least for me, like, I feel bad because I feel like you're not getting the answer or response you want, but like, I can't think of a time where like I held my tongue on something that like didn't look good.
Yeah, like
you're more stylish than I am.
Well, thank you. But like,
sometimes I wear not black.
Yeah,
rarely.
Me too. No, but I mean, like the few times when like there has actually been something, like I've said it, like if your hair like has gotten too long or something, I'll just
because I'm literally
like your hair's getting long.
If it's too bad, like I would like for you to tell me because like we have very similar interests, not style choice, weirdly enough, but like aesthetic stuff where it's like I would want you to tell me that like. Is it time for the Joker baby to go back?
I was telling you from the start that the Joker needed to get out.
And I was like, the Joker's here, baby.
No, I mean, like, I think we have a fairly honest friendship in that sense that, like, we'll just tell the other one if something's bad.
Yeah.
So.
Or make fun of it until it changes.
Yeah.
Like, that's a mood.
Yeah.
Like my gym teacher shirt.
Gym teacher shirt.
My that like I bought this short sleeve button up from like Walmart that was just way too big and like it was supposed to be the right size and it made it look like I was wearing like the oversized shirt like I was like a gym teacher.
Yeah, or like a youth pastor past his prime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was not the vibe. Okay, so sorry that's not a very fun answer,
but I mean it's good, insightful.
Okay,
like if you were out of context, hear our conversations, you'd think we like are just really mean to each other, but we are.
We are.
But like because like also, it's fun. It's sparring. It's that little tongue spar.
I do not consent to that.
I didn't ask.
Okay. Macaron asks, which of Eric's characters that you know of do you think you're most similar to? I think we touched on this one before.
I've been told it's Milo.
Yeah. Which I guess he's loud.
Why do I have to be defined by volume?
You define yourself by volume.
Unmute me.
You've been unmuted. And it's time that changed.
Sorry, that's not the better answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Milo-ish maybe, I guess. I don't, like I said, I don't know his characters. There's the android.
Yeah, I don't think you're like the android.
Oh, no, the listener's the android.
Yeah.
I'm not an android.
Well, there's still a character as well.
I'm the pizza guy. Actually, pizza guy is pretty close, like, energy. I'm just being exasperated. When I worked at the deli.
Yeah, tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also ask... They also ask, what are some of your best / most embarrassing memories from college?
Oh, that's right.
I'm an incoming freshman, and I want to get an idea of what I'm getting into. I don't really have fun memories of college.
You didn't live in the dorms.
Yeah, because I didn't want all that.
Yeah.
For me, college was like, it was a way to get the degree, and that was all I needed to get on with my life.
Wait, you got a degree?
I mean, they were just handing some of them out.
Was I supposed to?
I think you didn't get in line fast enough.
Do you remember when the year that everyone graduated that we talked about like just sneaking me on and filming it so that we could fake it for everyone that like Steve did get a degree?
He did get a degree, yeah.
But like I walked and everything, but like I don't have it. I have a lot of debt though, so that's cool.
Same.
I mean, for me though, like a lot of like the like fun, awkward, or like there was this one story. So like, I did drink a bit in college, once or twice, in a very appropriate 1 drink per hour at most, and absolutely did not go out of control in any way underage. Well, not that I condone underage drinking.
Occasionally, when you have the bottle of vodka in your house just to sterilize wounds, and you're cleaning up the vapors, they can get to you a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, Linda. There was this time. Do you remember?
No.
From my Xbox 360, I had that like grayscale controller. It was like
actually no.
It was like
I don't.
silver gray, and like the buttons were all like black, white, and gray. Like it was really cool.
Okay.
For the 360, I stole that.
Work. Okay.
I went to this house party with Lyndon, and I remember like there was lots of people there, and I was like, I'm gonna try to talk to people because also like Ari and I, my high school sweetheart and I had broken up, and like, you know, I can like be cool. Spoiler alert: no, I was gonna be depressed for years, but we'll leave that for future Steve to deal with. Well, it gets past Steve, but, you know, go off king. That's not related to college. That's just my own personal emotional growth. As an, you know, it just sucks in hindsight.
Yeah.
That I wish I could tell myself, you know, be best. So I went to this house party, and if I remember correctly, like we were hanging out there, and we only stayed for like 20 minutes. And we went there because they also had pizza. It was like a big party. Like you can never imagine in COVID now, like how many people were there. But it was like probably like 50 people, 60 people. And so they had some pizza, and Lyndon and I were like, hey, my buddy's got this party. We can get some beers and some pizza. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, pizza.
Yeah.
And so I went specifically to get pizza because it saved me a little bit of money.
Yeah.
You know, we'll split the Uber or whatever. Back when it was like cheap and they were still like trying to push out because it was like, you know, a decade ago.
Yeah.
And as like we're about to leave, I'm like, oh, like that's a really cool controller. And I was like a little drunk, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking take it. There's so many people here. I'm just gonna take this Xbox 360 controller. I grab it, and we're heading out, and we're getting. Actually, we didn't take an Uber. We had a friend's car, and he was there because it was Lyndon's other friend who like knew this guy and everything. And so as I'm walking out with the controller, the owner of the house is like starting to walk in. The guy who lives there.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he's also drunk, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, dude, I have a controller just like that. And I was like, no way. And like gave him a high five, and he was like, yeah. And then we got in the car and I left. And that was the first crime I ever committed.
So
that's not true. I stole Pokemon cards from the Albertsons, and then I got caught when I tried to steal batteries, and they took a picture of me at like 10 years old, and it's still up on the wall. It's like never allowed in.
So you are just a thief.
Yeah, it's the jorts for me, sis.
I one time accidentally stole a single packet of Kool-Aid. But then I took it back. But I didn't tell anyone. I just went back in and just put it back on the shelf.
Yeah, because your guilt. You were consumed.
Yeah.
That's fair. But yeah, I don't know. College is fun. It's what you make of it. And just make sure that whatever you do, you be responsible, and that there'll always, I think I said this in the Discord, but like there'll always be another party. And like another like thing to do. There's always something. So like it's okay to take a day for yourself or whatever and say no. I think a lot of people tend to forget that like you don't always have to go and be social and do something. Like you can. Just at the same time, don't never do anything.
Yeah. Or do nothing and then, you know, act out later. It's fine. Definitely works fine. And
yeah.
Doesn't cause problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, have fun and be safe.
You still hungry?
I'm fucking dying.
I'm so excited to get Culver's.
I'm really excited. I'm starving. So Plant asks, so the podcast is called, we kind of talked about this. The podcast is called Bussin' Boys. Do you think you'll end up changing it when Bussin' stops being as hilariously stupid as it already is? Or do you think that our little community has given it a meaning that means more?
Right. I mentioned this earlier. I totally didn't mean to like answer their question, but
yeah.
No, I mean like it's become a channel meme.
Yeah, no, I think it stands outside of it being like trendy. Like I never like made the joke because I was like, I'm, you know, on.
You gotta bust it open.
Yeah.
It's like no, it's more of like no, we say bushin' because bushin' is the guy spitting out the Sprite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it lives on its own. Sin asks, was there ever a meme or trend that you just couldn't get on board with? There's been so many.
Shit's so cash.
Was that ever really a thing?
Yeah, it was. And Brandon wouldn't say it. And then Brandon was real good at saying that all of my things were stupid. And then 2 weeks later, he's fucking saying it. Fidget spinnies?
I never liked fidget spinners.
I will say, though, once you did spin it, like, my rat brain was like, spin.
Keep spinning. I never, like, made fun of people for them, really. But, like, I just didn't
I would make
them.
Fun of someone if they're at their desk at work.
Yes, because that's inappropriate.
You do it at home.
Exactly. Hide it in the bathroom.
Take a little plastic bag that's in the tank. And you're just like, just getting a couple spins. Start sweating.
Kind of a broader one. Like I never got into like Pokemon like cards at the time when they were like a big thing. Like I just never. I don't know. It just wasn't really for me.
You like Pokemon?
I like them now.
You live them vicariously through me.
Well, yeah, I didn't like actually come to like really know anything about Pokemon until I started playing Super Smash Brothers Melee, and then I was like, there are Pokemon in this game. Literally, that was when I learned for the first time like basically anything about Pokemon was from Super Smash Brothers Melee. When I was a kid, we went to Burger King, and they had like the toys,
the Pokeball, which was sick.
It was a Pokeball, and it had like a gold-plated card in it.
I have one.
So do I.
I think you gave me. Did you give me one? Or no? I don't know how I got one.
I have one again now. So when I was a kid, I had a Jigglypuff one, and I eventually like threw it away because I was like, I don't even like Pokemon.
Which, like in hindsight, like throttle yourself.
Yeah. Well, I didn't throw it away. I literally like gave it away at a yard sale.
Moved it into the trash.
No, like we did like a yard sale, and I was just like, I don't care. And some like other neighborhood kid was like, have a Pokemon. Like,
it's that stuff where like you know, it's like in Magic where like you buy someone's like book, and it turns out that they had like an original alpha like volcanic island,
yes,
which is worth an incredibly shit ton of money, and they just use it as a bookmark for 20-30 years.
It was very bad. It was like sitting like in the bottom of like a toy box, and then I finally was like, oh, I don't want this, so then I just like gave it to some kid at a yard sale. Well, then now that I know about Pokemon and that I've played Super Smash Brothers and everything,
the mainline Pokemon game, Super Smash Brothers Melee,
and I like Jigglypuff. She's one of my favorites. I was like, I need the card again, so I bought, and there's one in there.
Yeah,
I have it now. But yeah, I don't.
You don't read it though. You don't open it up and take a look and read all the writing on it, right? Like the art books I buy you. I'm circling back.
I don't think you can actually. I don't think they put like words on it.
No. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be like glyphs or whatever.
Yeah. No, but yeah. So that was like kind of like a big trend I never got into.
I always really wanted like the Ancient Mew card from like the movie where like it was like ancient writing and shit, the glyphs. You guys remember The Mummy with Brendan Fraser? My dad and I watched that like when I was over with him.
Yeah.
I missed most of it. Then I got food poisoning.
I remember it. See the one part of it scared the shit out of me where like they like take the guy's eyes and then like they kill him later, and I was like, why you gotta beat up on this one guy?
He didn't see it coming. Should have, but he didn't have his eyes.
Took his eyes.
Do you know where your eyes are? Think about how your eyes feel in your sockets right now.
I think they feel pretty good.
Are your eyes wet?
Do you ever like? I don't know where I was about to go with that.
Do you ever just want to?
Have you heard?
Suck an eye.
Have you heard that thing about like where like sometimes like people's like hearing can get like too like sensitive from like brain impact or whatever, and so then like they can hear like their bodily functions.
Oh.
And so like one of them is that like they can hear their eyes moving, and it sounds like creaking wood all day, every time they move their eyes.
Well, I have a new hell.
Yeah.
Prank channels.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. That's the one. Prank channels.
Yeah, I hate that shit. All right. Lena Audio asks, are you good at cooking? Do you hate it or love it? There's nothing in between. There are no options. You either hate it or you love it. Go.
I'm not good at cooking.
Okay. Do you hate it or love it?
I hate it.
Interesting.
Are you going to answer the question?
Oh, yeah, I guess I should. Yes, I am good at cooking, and love is a very strong word.
It's either or. Yeah, right. You didn't like this, did you? Do you see this mirror looking back at you?
Damn, I look tired.
Stop saying I look like shit. Please.
I'm just kidding. You don't actually look tired. I'm not a bully.
We've been bullies.
We have been bullies.
And when we were told
I'm not a bully.
They're bullies, and I'm like, no, we're not. And you and I are both like,
yeah, we are.
We fucking are.
I guess I love cooking. I don't. I guess I'm hopelessly devoted to cooking.
Mm-hmm. How much of cooking's dick do you suck?
How much will cooking let me?
Oh.
Parky asks, who's stronger out of the two of you? Physically, emotionally? Where are we going with this?
I mean, it depends on what your test of strength is. I can lift more than you. You can squat more than you.
You don't know that you can lift more than me.
I can lift your spirits on a rainy day. So first of
when
all, put some respect. Never, because I wouldn't want you to. Why would I put you on the same level as me?
Oh, you think you're up here? Your spirits, huh?
Oh no, my spirit is garbage.
That's what I'm saying.
It's in the gutter. But you know, I have to keep up the illusion that everything's great.
It's true.
I mean, I don't know. I forget that you work out too. So like,
yeah,
I don't know. It actually probably would be a fair fight.
Yeah,
I would actually argue, like, being like, jokes aside, you have a height and reach, so like that's a bit of a thing. But like, if it was a ground game, I might be able to
ground pound.
Y'all hear about the earthquake? Y'all are out of control. I loved it because I didn't get it at first, and then I'm like, what did someone say that was so bad? And then the only thing I find was there was an earthquake today, and everyone just going.
Well, I was not following it. I look over and I'm just like, oh, that's what they're talking about.
Which, like, again, that's totally cool. I love the like subtext, like, go off. Just don't say, like, you know, I love the way my ass gets pounded.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna like make it about me.
Ruth Ronnie asks, have you ever traveled outside of the United States?
What a good question. What a just nice, good, noble question.
If so, what places have you been to? Also, they love the podcast.
Oh,
I'm
thanks,
sorry.
Ruth. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
I will
Ruth.
apologize too. I've been to Mexico. You've been to Mexico.
Yep. I
haven't been to Canada.
No, I have not.
I've been to. That's it. I mean, I've been to states in the United States.
Yeah, that's it too. I have briefly been to Mexico, and that was.
And it's like Rocky Point, which is like.
Yeah.
Fake Mexico.
It's New Arizona.
It's right. It's actually old Arizona.
It's old Arizona.
I've been to California, Oregon. I'm not going to name all the states.
Appleton, Oshkosh.
Green Bay.
What else? Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I said I've been calling all these stores. No one has.
I kind of want to watch that before we go eat because
I love that video so much.
You reminded me.
That video is a religious experience for me.
It is. I'll have to post it in the Discord so people. But I can't post it now. I have to post it on Thursday once it's
ready. Yeah,
we could link it in the description down below.
I think that they need someone like us to shine a spotlight on small local talent.
Yes.
They're not local.
The internet.
Everyone's
your neighbor.
And stranger danger.
But also, unless.
Is
that credit card for me?
Is your social security number for me?
What's your mother's maiden name?
Not you telling me your mother's maiden name and your social.
Hey, what was your first pet's name? What was the street you grew up on?
Oh my god.
What's your favorite animal?
What is your favorite animal?
What is your favorite animal? And why is it a shark?
It's a rhino.
Really?
Yeah. All right, so the final question is from Lady.
It's the Daily Double. Wait, is it two questions in one? Because that'd be great if it was the Daily Double.
No, it's just one.
Damn it.
Sorry. All right.
R.I.P. Alex Trebek.
Oh, is he dead?
Yeah, I think he died.
I know he was like dying.
I think he did pass, unfortunately.
Oh, all right.
And like Ken Jennings took over for a while at least.
Oh, really?
Which like good, like
yeah.
I mean, Ken Jennings was really good. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. What's the question?
Lady Callie asks,
Katie 2.0.
Your personal lives and your online presence. Where do you find the balance between the two?
That's a
good question.
You fucking got me, dude. I mean,
where do I find balance between the two?
Like without letting one like overtake. I mean,
for myself, there definitely were times earlier on in the process of becoming, an online creator and everything, where when I was like kind of finding my footing and everything, I did not have a good balance of that. And I, crossed the line into being online too much and like, being too available and just like also just like spending too much time online.
We didn't really hang out. I mean, it was also like the pandemic too with lockdowns and stuff where like at least in terms of like social, like we didn't really hang out a whole lot, but like we've always kind of been like that where like if we're not living together, then we don't hang out as often. We actually have hung out more since I started making content.
Yeah, way more.
Which definitely blurs the line a bit. But like for you, like I can totally see that.
Yeah, I mean like in terms of finding the balance, I sort of found it by crossing the line and then realizing like, oh, this is too much, and I need to like scale it back. And
what was like the big thing for you, do you think? Not like one event, but
I don't think it was any one event.
It like Discord?
Yeah, I mean, it was just sort of like a preponderance of
Did you realize that you spent all your money on Discord Nitro?
No. I was just like spending too much time on Discord and everything, and like not even in a way that was like negatively impacting anything per se. Like I was still like, you know, making videos and meeting all my goals and everything, but I just felt that it was like, this is taking up too much of my time. Like this, like I don't want this to be the only thing I'm like doing. So
it's like you suddenly realize like I haven't left my house. Or
right.
Like I haven't,
which was made more complicated by the pandemic though, where it's like, well, if you're, you know, the little thing in your brain is like, well, if you're not on Discord, what the hell are you going to do? Just sit there and twiddle your thumbs?
Yeah.
And it's
which like that's fair, you know.
But it's also like, I could be doing other things.
There's definitely stuff like for me, finding the balance is, I mean, I'm still, I guess, maybe figuring that out, like, because like my situation's a bit different in terms of like, yes, it's still in like a post-pandemic world, but like in terms of like online presence, like I went through that really shitty month in March, which I also went through a breakup, and then a month later when Tyler moved out, like I was living on my own. And so having like my stream kind of blow up thanks to you, and like everyone just still coming in and hanging out and whatnot, and like the Discord becoming much more active, and like it's now become something far more than like when I first made it.
Yeah.
Like it used to just be like me and Fumpkin and like me saying like I'm going live. That was it. Or like saying I'm not gonna be able to stream today. Like I'll stream tomorrow. You know, that was it. And then like now like I do read everything that's on there, but I don't let it like consume me. I don't go out of my way. But my just brain of like I need to, all that stuff says unread, I need to go read it. And I do my best. If it's like, oh, you've missed the last 375 messages, I'm like, I'm not fucking reading back all of this. Like I don't got time for that. But like, you know, I have made a couple of friends through this and like do spend like time talking to them, but like I wouldn't argue that like it like is taking into my own social time. I actually, weirdly enough, since I started making content and like streaming, I'm sure you could attest to this, like I'm actually more social in the real world and online than I ever have been. I was very much of like,
at least that you have been in a very long time.
Like I definitely like the pandemic was not good for me in terms of like, ooh, I can just get comfortable and lazy and like I'm just playing like
sedentary and solitary.
Like which is something that like I know is always an issue. So like I've just been like making these like little things. Like I didn't go to the gym today because I just got like distracted and busy, and by the time I remembered, it was already like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, 10 o'clock, the warden's there, the old guy that kicks me out of the pool. And so I'm like, I don't want to fucking deal with him. And then it was already like 11:30, and then I'm like, I'm going to Verizon, and I was like, you know what, it's not a big deal if I miss today. I'm like, I still do, because like it's my weightlifting day, so like I haven't been looking forward to that, but my like cardio days I get really excited about. I don't know why, but like now I'm like, ooh, because I'm at, like I finally breached that wall in like the couch to 5K shit where it's like, now you're like jogging 5 minutes, walking 3 minutes, jogging 5 minutes, like 5-3, 5-3, 5. And like it's actually like, oh cool, like Monday I'm like, well, I gotta finish the podcast, so like I just popped it on while I'm just fucking running, because it's like, you know, it makes it nice. It's, you know, conversation, and also kind of like mentally taking notes for things to improve on that I then throw out before we start. But
well, you put them on your old phone.
Yeah, on my old phone. But like with like just finding the balance is like, you know, obviously I don't want to let it consume me. Like,
it's kind of a trial and error thing for in a lot of things. You just kind of have to feel it out.
Your own self-control.
Damn, that's a trend that we did not choose to skip.
Oh,
and maybe we should have.
Actually, you know what? The dab was the thing that like we did ironically.
And then now first, we can't escape.
At first, I dabbed, and because I thought it was a joke, but I don't think I'm joking anymore.
And it's like the joke,
and I am the joke baby. But also, like the dab has now become like, it's like the quick dab. Like, it's so much of like a beautiful thing that like the popularity died to the point now where like.
That's why I love it now, is because it is so far gone that now it's enjoyable.
Ska never dies.
It also never gets good.
Pick it up. I mean, ska is just, you know, what goes on in a kid's head, in a band kid's head when he gets mozzarella sticks, and like I've never felt so personally attacked in my entire life.
All of ska is still mad because Gwen Stefani left them.
She did. Oh, I have words.
To greener pastures, and good for her.
Well, she had to get put in that home since, she was born in the 40s.
She was the same
Get the fuck out of here. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
One last thing.
No.
Blush.
Boy.